But this is going to be a thorough walkthrough or walk around with the car. Make some comments as we go. So I generally characterize this car as a really nice driver. We don't know the exact history on it other than we got it from an older gentleman in Michigan, and he bought it from a guy who had restored it. That's what we think we know about the car. So we had it shipped from Michigan about a year ago, 2021. And we're pretty pleased with what we saw. I would describe it as at least better than average, I think very good restoration. And I don't know if you qualified as a frame off, I'll let you be the judge of that. But it's pretty thorough, as you'll see. So I think pretty much all of the chrome was replaced or re-chromed. This front grille was obviously re-chromed or anodized, I'm not sure which. This front bumper was definitely re-chromed. Chrome is nearly perfect. The paint is probably an 8.5 out of 10. With a few blemishes. Look at some of the chrome here. All of the rubber was replaced. All the windows, obviously, when it was painted, were taken out. I guess that'd be one window. Well, there's 3 windows, each side and the front. The body work on it is very straight. Again, look at that. The detail on the chrome. There's not a ding on the car. I'll point out the defects. There's a small chip right there in the paint. This all looks to be re-chromed. This interesting side treatment is obviously new. I don't see pits on any of the exterior chrome. I'll get to the interior. Have a look down. I don't know if the light will capture it well, but very nice paint and bodywork. Chrome. These back surrounds here. We'll do the interior in a minute, but things like this and the dash appear to be new. Let's take a look inside here. Just see, like, rubber there is new. All these small pieces, or all the rubber is new. Down here on these removable skirts, that is new. These are either new or re-tops, not sure, but tail lights appear to be reproduced. I'm pretty sure that's reproduced. It seems awfully perfect to be refurbished, but maybe a Fairlane guy knows that it just looks to be polished stainless steel, and it's a really nice shape. There's the back light. Looks like probably when they did the restoration, the bumper might have been good or just, you know, on the edge. So this back bumper is the one thing that was obviously not re-chromed. You can see some of that. It looks good from a distance, and the chrome that's on it is actually very good. But this area in here, or it was poorly re-chromed. We got a bid at $1,000 to redo that chrome. You know, stuff like that is all done new. The Fairlane logo. And I haven't pointed out any other defects because I haven't seen any other than that one chip. It was up there. See if we can, I think that flips up, yeah. That flips up. And we're back to where we started here, so we'll just take a look at that. You can see that chrome there. Hopefully that's being captured. So you can look down at it for yourself. See how straight that side is. Okay, that'll be the exterior. We're doing interior and underneath. So let's take a look inside. These I think everything inside was new. Door panels, not sure where or who reproduces these, but these are definitely completely purchased new and reproduced. The rubber is, I said, all the rubber on the car, inside and out, is new. Decent job with the door jambs. This is obviously new or re-chrome, one of the two. Seats are all intact. Notice the sun fading on some of the tops, so the interior has seen a little bit of sun. Carpet was new when it was done. Dash was new. All the components were painted, and even down to this rubber here. Now let's take a look at the dash. I think it's particularly impressive, actually, the dash. That's an aftermarket kind of classic radio. I'm going to come around to this side while we're at it, just to point this out. So all the door handles appear to be new or re-chromed, one of the two. I think probably new. These back panels are new, repainted. This is all new on that side. I think one thing you could do if you wanted is have the seats reupholstered. That's probably the easiest thing to do on the interior. Like I said, they're in fine shape except for some of the sun fading up at the top, which is one of the reasons I think this car is probably about 10 years old since the restoration. All the window felts here are new. Even the window felt up here is new. And just to show you, the windows go up and down almost perfectly. So I'm got inside of the doors, but I think they probably replaced the internals as well. The guides, the soft parts of the guides. You see the new door panels, new armrests. This is re-chromed or new, re-chromed or new. They took a lot of care in this. That's almost perfect. It almost looks like that's reproduced. It's so perfect. And around here, look down here. I don't think the back has seat belts. I'm sure it didn't come with seat belts, and I don't see any that were added to it. Let's look at our. This is a part that I think is kind of indicative of the care on this. You got, of course, the steering wheel, which has been refurbished. I can see it looks like it was painted in the color of the car with the clear coat on it, which is, I think, standard. There's no cracks in the steering wheel. The dash is pretty impressive. This looks all new, in fact, not reproduced, not refurbished, but new. This Dolphin gauges look to be all new. They all work. That looks like it was re-chromed, that piece there, that surround. And the odometer is reading 2411. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the number of miles on this car since the refurbishment or the restoration on the car. I'm thinking these are probably this is the one thing that's kind of goofy on the car. Those are probably not original. I'm sure you can find original. They work, but they don't appear to be original. So again, new dash, rubber around the dash, all the paint, very good, all the chrome up there. So hopefully that'll give you a good idea of the level of detail and the general condition of the interior. Like I said, this is a really nice driver. So let's look underneath the car. Let's take a look at the engine. It appears the engine was removed. To me, it looks like a frame-off restoration, because all of the bolts appear to have been taken off, cleaned carefully, and put back on, and re-affixed. engine, I can't attest to how original the engine is, but it is the Thunderbird engine. I think there were 3 variants of this engine. You got a little bit of brake fluid there, because I just bled the brakes and corrected a leak on the back wheel cylinder. So those are working well. So it all works really well. You'll see the startup date on it. Looks like an aftermarket radiator. And I am not an expert, as you can tell, on Ford Fairlanes or Fords in general, but so I can just give you my perspective on the car. But you experts can pour over the pictures in the video and tell me what's not exactly correct. At this point, it doesn't much matter, because we're selling it as is, and we'll let the next owner make any corrections they want. Right now, it's a great driver. And what's that back there? If someone can tell me what that is. If I look closer, I can probably tell you. But very, very clean in the engine compartment. Nice job painting underneath the hood. Let's look at that. Okay. Okay, let's take a look underneath this Ford Fairlane. It looks like up above. It looks pretty clean. Maybe, like I said, 10, maybe 15 years ago. Looks like everything came apart. It wasn't done yesterday, but it was done in the last 10, 15 years. Let you draw your own conclusions in the video. I don't see any patching, any evidence of patching, so I think they started with a very good car from a rust standpoint. And looks to be this coating on the bottom looks to be maybe 415, would be my guess, just from the condition of it and the texture of it. Like maybe they painted the engine compartment partly white. There are some leaks we got some transmission leaks and some oil leaks right in here. What I observed is I drove it for about 30-45 minutes, parked it, put it under the lift, up on the lift, and I'd say there were about 5 drops on the ground. Don't have it now because that was earlier today. About 5 drops on the ground of oil and some red automatic transmission fluid. It looks as though it's kind of a dynamic leak, or once you park it, it doesn't continue to leak, because I then parked it later and I don't see anything forming. So it leaks, but not terribly. I think it has a real nice sound to it. I'm not really a muffler guy, but I think these are what they call glass packs. Feel free to correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong. But it does look like true dual exhaust on either side of the V8. And exhaust runs down here separately on either side through what I think are glass packs. If this isn't new, this gas tank is definitely refurbished, and it looks like they did a nice job. It could be new when they did the refurbishment. Small, nothing, like I said, nothing on the ground now. See, it's been up here, what, 10, so it's about 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, look here, nothing has reached the ground, no drips to the ground. There's nowhere where it's leaking profusely, but it's not completely dry, because earlier I saw it, so take that for what it's worth. I just took care of a leak on the wheel cylinder on the rear passenger side. And look here, like I said, rust, or really lack of rust. I don't really see any evidence of rust or anywhere in patches. Cobwebs. So, although we got it from Michigan, I don't think it saw many years on the Michigan roads, or else you'd see just completely eaten away down here. It's not. It's very nice. And you probably got it from a Western state, whoever refurbished it, and chose it wisely, I would say. There's a floor pan too, see if there's any evidence they've been re-welded. I don't see any evidence the floor pan has been re-welded. They look original. Again, we'll get into the engine. Just trying to be as thorough as possible, so if you see something, you can comment or call me and ask me to look closer if you need to. I got some brake fluid on the outside of the tire, which is from bleeding all the brakes. And to me, it looks stock, except for that the engine, except for that radiator. Again, you guys can comment on that. Let me know where I'm wrong. So that's the underside of the 1958 Ford Fairlane Skyliner. Here's one spot I wanted to show you. See if I can get a good angle on that. So there's some actual bubble through, if you will, where the rust is gone through, right in that one corner of the door. From what I can tell, that is the only spot on the entire car. So that's not a major thing. That's on the right lower corner of the passenger side door. So that's the one spot that could be corrected. Let's get a well-lit picture or video of the front grille area with a light on it. I think I captured it as well in my first video. Very nice front. Now do the opposite. Take a look inside the compartment where the top folds into. Looks like they used new material on that. And while we're at it, we'll look at the headliner, which also looks new. I think they used all new materials on this. They did it. And all the lights not great. The cylinders all look new. Looks like it was some sort of kit. So it was fully done. There's no doubt about it. The underside of this.